Hit it, boys.
So I'm just killing time at home and wanna share this video with you. I challenged myself to create this short beer commercial at home, and I'm just gonna show you some behind the scene clips and talk you through what I did. So first I searched the best place to shoot this in our apartment. I had a couple options, but I found it was easier to move our TV from the TV cabinet and use that as a shooting platform, and the white wall behind it can work as a backdrop. I also bought this opal white acrylic plate from hardware store, what I use it as a surface for the bottle shots. It reflects light and makes this look more professional. I also did some research about product lighting a bottle and found out that many use it white paper or baking paper to cover the back of the bottle, that it reflects light and also diffuse it. So I did that with baking paper. After that I mounted this ledgo LED panel I had behind it on a tripod to give some backlight. And next I assembled my light stand to the left side and hanged a Nanlite pavotube there. I think it gave it a nice vertical reflection to the left side of the bottle, what I was aiming for. I also did the same to the right side. After that I wanted to add some color to our background, so I put one pavotube on stool pointing to the wall, and I did some testing with different colors because it's easy with these pavotubes because they are like full spectrum RGB lights, so you have lots of options. But I went with blue color to give some cool tones to the image. Last I mounted one pavotube to the light stand to act as a key light, and yeah. Next it was time to give that bottle that wet cool look we all see in these commercials, and again I did some research that a mix of glycerin and water would work the best, because that glycerin makes those drops stick longer. If you use water only, that will just run out faster. So I mixed those in a spray bottle and sprayed that beer bottle and also the acrylic surface to give it some texture. One tip I can give is spray that glycerin mix only where you need it, because it's going to be sticky. But after that it was just testing different things. I found out that shooting with aperture f4 to f8 worked best, and I shot everything in 6K 50 frames per second to give more flexibility in post. I didn't want too much bokeh because it doesn't look professional in these kind of shots in my opinion. I didn't plan that much about the sequence I was making. This was more like a lightning experiment, but I wanted a decent looking bottle shot and I tried different variations. I turned some lights off and some on, and I made a decision to turn off the right side because I thought it looked more what I was looking for. So first 3 shots of the bottle were just static shots, camera on tripod, and I added some movement in post, very basic. 4th shot was just handheld. I wanted to show the label where it says alcohol free, and I manually chose the focus point and just came from out of focus to focus, and I didn't even post stabilize this shot. I only used some speed ramping, and that 50 frames per second helped to sell this shot. Next shot was where I opened the bottle, and it was a little trickier. I wanted the shot to come from above, and I didn't have any C-stand or other overhead rigs available. So I used my chair and a flower pot to give right distance and stability to hold the tripod against the pot. Jessica helped to hold the camera steady when I opened the bottle. I also moved that ledgo LED panel to the table to light this shot, and I added some zoom in and rotation keyframes to this in post. Next shot was pouring close-up shot. I moved that LED panel to the left side of the table, pointing downwards to light this shot, and I also chose a little upward angle to the camera. It was easier to pour that beer to a bigger dish, and it was easy to pour that beer back to the bottle when I had to retake the shot. So that's why the bigger dish. In post, I just added a couple keyframes to crop in and add movement. Just basic. Next was this close-up shot from the lower part of the beer glass. Again, basic static shot. I just turned over the tripod holding that LED panel, lower the light a little bit, and all same in next shot, just reframed for the upper part of the glass, and I used keyframes to zoom in both clips. And the last clip was this whole bottle shot, zooming out, and you can see that the light moves there. I just did some experiments how it looks when I hold the pavotube in my hands and just move the light in front of the bottle, and I think this looked nice. That's all for this time. This was definitely interesting thing to do and experiment with these lights. I have to say that I'm very happy about purchasing these Nanlite pavotubes. I highly recommend you to check those out if you're interested. But yeah, till next time, stay safe. Bye bye.